Hello everybody, it's Wendy, and today we are going to make a multi-strand leather and bead bracelet using products from the Bargain Bead Box November 2021 edition. But first of all, our encouraging word for today is have courage and be kind. And I think a lot of times it takes courage to be kind. It's easy not to be kind, but it takes courage when you want to be kind. So we need to strive for that. All right, so Bargain Bead Box is a monthly subscription beading service. It runs $17.98 a month, shipped to your door, and I consider it to be a great deal. There have been a few boxes that I haven't been too crazy about lately, but for the most part, they maintain their wonderful status, okay? So what we're going to be using today, not all of this is from the Bargain Bead Box, but a lot of it is. So all of this is from the Bargain Bead Box, except for these two little end cap things. Now these are just little, they're glue in, so you're going to glue all this leather in there. It doesn't have a hole in the top, it just has this little loop. So your glue is going to be important in this, and I am using GS Hypo Cement. I usually use E6000 for everything, but I'm using the GS Hypo Cement because I know that it's going to dry really clear. And the E6000 dries fairly clear, but I just don't want to take a chance on it showing. So I'm using the GS Hypo Cement. I'm using one of the clasps from the Bargain Bead Box this month, the toggles. I'm using all of these little spacers, these little teeny daisy spacers. I am using the 4 Tiger Eye barrel beads, okay? I'm using these beautiful crystal barrel beads, and they actually had these up on their site yesterday. I put them in my cart. We were on the motorcycle, so I put them in my cart, and then by the time I got home and could get back to it, they were all gone. So I didn't get them. And then I'm using the 6mm, is this 6mm or 8? I think it's 8. 8mm Tiger's Eye from the Bargain Bead Box, and some of these champagne colored crystals. And I may incorporate this chain, I'm not sure yet, but we'll see. I have some rose gold jump rings, and I have a bunch of leather. Okay, so this is 1mm leather. I got this from Antique Cord on Etsy. I have it cut into, I can't remember because I did this the other day getting ready for this video. I have them cut into 12-inch lengths, okay? And I have, let's see, there's two different colors here. There's a darker brown and this more, I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, you can. Darker brown and a little lighter. And let me see how many of these I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I have 14 strands of this. And then another important thing is you're going to need some tape, okay? Because that's going to make your life easier. And all your jewelry tools. And I think that's everything. If I've missed anything, then we'll deal with it when we get there. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is get our cord ready. So I'm going to take a piece of this Scotch tape. This is just regular old tape, Scotch tape. I am going to lay it sticky side up, which is tricky because it doesn't want to get off my finger. There we go. Okay. Oh no. There we go. Get off there now. I just need to get it off my finger enough to lay it down, which it doesn't want to do. There we go. Okay. Now, I've already flush cut these, but of course they're uneven because I've been just, this has been all over my desk. I've had this ready for like a week and I haven't got to the video. So I'm going to take all the pieces of leather. I'm not putting them in any color order. I don't care what colors, are next to what other colors, because it's all going to be mixed up anyway. We're going to kind of be braiding it or, layering it, mixing it up. So all I want to do right now is get these stuck down to my tape so that I can start to put my beads on. Okay, so just try to get the ends as close as you can. Okay, and take all 14 strands. Whoops, I've got that one doubled over. Take all 14 strands like this. And if you have any that are down real low, try to get them up. Try to get it as even as you can. Like there's one right there that is down real low. So let me pull him up. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, once I kind of even these out a little, I'm going to take my tape and I'm just going to lay them on here, kind of flatten them out, and then I'm going to pull this tape over, and just all this is just keeping them laid out so I can work with them, okay? So just like that. Now, if you have a safety pin or something, you can tape this, you can pin this down. I did used to have safety pins out here. I wonder what I did with them. That's my daily struggle, is losing things, not knowing what I did with it, where it went. I did really used to have safety pins out here somewhere, but I have no idea where they are now. So I might use one of my little bead clips, my bead bugs here. Yeah, I have a little alligator clip in here. Let me see if this will work. And I'm just going to take this, and I'm just going to try to like clip it down to my bead mat here. Whoops. Just like that. And it's just going to hold it kind of still for me. That's all. Let me move it down a little. Okay. All right. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take our beads, and we're just going to put them on randomly on different strands. So I did make sure that my leather would fit these beads, and you may have to take it and cut it at an angle with some sharp scissors here. So like this piece I can tell is going to be a problem. So if you just kind of cut it at an angle, it gives it a little point there and will make it easier to get on your beads or get your beads on it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to grab a strand. Okay, now you want to start far enough down on this so that you have room to glue this into your cap. Okay, so don't start all the way up at the end. But I'm just going to take a strand, a random strand, and I'm going to put one of these little 3mm spacers on. And these guys were a little hard to get on. I did have to make sure that I had this cut pointed. But that's kind of good because they'll stay in one spot. Now, if you have one that's got a little metal in the hole, then you might have a problem, but you can use a beading awl and clean that out if you need to. Okay, so I'm going to scoot that all the way down. Then I'm just going to take a bead and another one of these little spacers. Okay, and I'm going to scoot that all the way down. So there I have my first little bead on. Now I'm just going to grab another strand randomly, just out of the middle, and I'm probably going to put a tiger's eye bead on. Okay, like that. Grab another strand, just randomly, and we'll go ahead and do another of these and a tiger eye bead. And I want to keep my bigger beads toward the middle, so I'm kind of trying to put the 6mm and under beads on the end, and then up here towards the middle I'll get all these bigger, like the barrel beads and the crystal bead, big crystal barrels and stuff. Okay, so I'm just randomly putting a bead on each strand or on the different strands. Some of them I'm using the little daisy spacers with, some I'm not. It's just totally up to your own creative control. Okay, so just try to make sure that you have a bead on each strand, or at least close to that. Okay, and see, what we're going to be doing is we're going to just be kind of gathering these together, and they're going to be woven in between each other, in and out, so they're just going to kind of make a big just kind of like a web or a netting look almost. I'll go on there. I know you will. And if you have trouble getting your little spacers on, you can grab your pliers and grab this leather and pull, but I may have to do that with my tweezer nose pliers. I have a hard time getting a hold of the leather even with my pliers, it seems like. And I think my pliers probably have glue and stuff on them. I need to clean them off. They're not grasping as tightly as they should. He does not want to go on this. Okay, Okay, I'm not going to fight with him. Let me grab another one and see if this... Sometimes some of them have a little bit of metal in the hole. That's probably what it was with that one. Okay, I'm sorry if you guys can hear Chris. He is so loud when he's at work and on the phone. I mean, it's like he stands down there and yells. I don't know why. He has a headset on, and I think he can't hear how loud he actually is, but if I'm filming a video, you can always hear him. So... he gets excited and his voice goes up and up and up, and he gets so aggravated with me because, like, if we're in a restaurant or something, I'll be like, shh, you know, keep your voice down, and that makes him mad. He doesn't want me to tell him to keep his voice down, but man, he gets loud sometimes. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, so we have pretty much every strand covered, maybe not totally, but pretty much. So I'm just going to take these and just kind of twist them around each other here a little bit like this. Some through and just kind of making them, and see how this is going to do. It's going to be just like a massive, or a web of beads inside your leather. And you can spread it out as much as you want or as little as you want. Here's one without a bead, so I'm going to stick one on there. Okay, there we go. And if you see any more without beads, just grab them and stick a bead on. Whoops. Okay. I don't have near as many tiger eye beads as I do. I may stick a tiger's eye on this one instead of that little crystal. Okay. All right, so that's pretty good. Now you can spread them out here a little. I'm going to spread mine out just a tad because I want the leather. I want a lot of the leather to show too. Okay, now we're getting, let's see, let me scoot this down just a bit. So now we're just going to continue on. I'm just going to make sure that I kind of have these wrapped around each other a little bit because I want the beads to be kind of trapped in there. So I'm taking the top through the bottom and just kind of not really braiding it, but just, you know, making sure that there's a little bit of a blockage there so they can't totally all get through. And then I'm just going to put some more beads on. So let me do a little daisy spacer, crystal bead, and daisy spacer. Okay, and see how this one's kind of caught in between those two? I want to keep that way if I can. Let's go ahead and do this one. I'll do a daisy spacer on it if I can. Yeah, I can get it on there. A tiger's eye and a daisy. Okay, so right about there. Now I'm going to grab one up from the bottom here, kind of wrap it around these two. After you put your first group on, you kind of want to do this. You want to make sure that you wrap them a little bit when you're putting them on and make sure that they're kind of going in and out each other. Now I'm going to go ahead and put on one of the crystal barrel beads here. So I'm going to do a daisy spacer. And one thing I like about these daisy spacers is if you can get it on there, even though it's a little tight, it's going to kind of hold your bead in place. So this one's underneath, and I want to keep it that way. Put this on. And one more daisy spacer. So I do have a coupon code for Bargain Bead Box. If you're interested in subscribing to them, it is $2. I think it's $2 off of your first box. And the coupon code is Wendy2. And I will link all this in the description box below, all the information. So if you're interested in it, along with your subscription, when you do subscribe to them, you get a coupon code to use in their sister site. They have a really great website. That's what I was talking about, those crystal beads were on there and then they were gone as quick as I could hardly get home to look. But their sister site, when you subscribe to their box every month, you get that 30% off coupon code to use in their sister site, and you can use that as many times as you want during the month. So it ends up, you know, saving quite a bit of money if you shop in there very often. Okay, so this one, I'm just going to take it, I'm going to wrap it around and kind of come up through here somewhere. Just trying to kind of wrap them and weave them so they're going to stay where I want them. This guy needs to come around here. Perfect. Okay, now let's see, what can I do with him? Let's see if I can get another daisy spacer on there. Some of their holes are so tiny. Some of them have bigger holes. I guess it's just the metal plating. Let me trim this to a point and see if that helps. Sometimes it does. Yep. There we go. Okay, and I think I'll just do another regular crystal bead. Just like that. Now, let's see. I need something on this strand right here. I might do one of these barrel tiger eyes on it. Okay, then I'm going to take it through to the middle. Try to maybe come up through several of those that are in the very middle and just take it under there. Okay, now I've got, let's see, that's looking pretty good. Spread it out a little. I need to get something on a couple of these middle strands, so let's put something on this one. I'll do some daisy spacers and a tiger eye bead if I can. Sometimes if you try to get the daisy spacers on there too much, it bends your leather and gets, but it's working okay. There we go. Okay, let me put a tiger eye on here. Find another daisy spacer with a fairly large little hole there. There we go. Alright, now here's what we've got. I'm going to take this one through this one and then maybe double it around and go through here. I want there to be a pretty good little crossover there. There we go. Alright, I'm going to take this middle one out of here that looks like it needs something on it. And we'll do another crystal bead, just a crystal bead by itself. Okay, and then I'm going to take it up and around and through some of the others. Alright, now it's looking pretty good. Now Chris is going to play the sax, guys. I'm so sorry. He is such a noisy person to live with. Alright, let's see. You can just mix these around, you know. So let me go ahead and put over here, I'm going to do another barrel. Now I'm going to try to incorporate several of my bigger beads because we're getting toward the middle. So we'll go ahead and do okay. Let's do that there. Let's do something on this one right here, this coppery one. I'll do a regular cat's eye bead right here. Okay, so what you need to do is just keep on, just like I'm doing, just put them on, weave them around, weave them through each other, and just keep on doing that until you get all the way to about an inch from your end, okay? And then come on back. Okay, so I have got all of my beads on that I think I want to put on, and I have everything kind of woven in and out, and I'm just going to measure. So from the end, I'm going to measure from, well, no, I'll measure down here. So I've got about, if I put my end cap on right here, I'm going to have about 8.5 inches, which is pretty good because we're going to scrunch it down just a little, but you know, that's pretty much a good length for me, because this is you're going to have your clasp too, so make sure that you account for that. All right, so I'm just going to take a piece of tape here, and I'm just going to tape this end down as well. Now these can kind of ball up and bunch up because you're going to be gluing them in this clasp, okay? So I'm going to take my ends here now, and this is what I've got, and I'm going to be gluing them inside here. So I want to cut these flush, all right? So I'm just going to take my cutters, and I'm just going to cut them just real straight across like that, okay? Now I've got my other end taped, which is good. So I'm going to take my end cap here, and if you look, all of these strands will fit right in there perfectly, okay? So I'm going to take my glue, and this is kind of getting everywhere, and I'm going to fill this end cap really pretty full of this glue, okay? I want to put a lot of glue in there and make sure that this is going to stay really good. So I'm just taking my time because it kind of drips out in little drops and I don't want to bust the end of the tube. But I'm making sure that I put quite a bit in here. I want to get it all filled up to the top, okay? So it's filled up to the top. I'm going to lay that on my tape because it's going to leak a little bit. And then I'm going to take all of these little ends, I'm just going to shove them in there. Now you're going to have a little bit of glue pop out. That's okay. This dries clear. Okay, so just shove that in there. Make sure you get all of your little pieces in, and this is fiddly. But shove them in there. You want to shove them down tight. And then we're just going to hold it. So I'm going to pause this video because I'm going to hold it for a few minutes and let it get in there. See, I just knocked it out. So let me get it back in, and I'm going to hold it until it kind of sets a little. Okay, so I'm having some serious glue issues. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape this up into this little ball like I want these to be, cutting them flush, and I'm going to fill this up again, and I have got it all over my bead mat. It's everywhere. I'm terrible with glue, you guys. I'm just really bad with glue. But I'm going to fill this up again, and with the tape on there, I'm going to stick it in, and I think that's going to do better. Now I've never used this glue before, and just it's sticky, so that's good. Okay, so I'm gonna stick this in here now that I've got a little more control. Okay, so I'm sticking that in there, and I am going to set this aside and let it dry for a little bitty while. Okay, so I will come back when it's dry. Okay, so I've got my piece glued in here, and it seems pretty solid. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the tape from this end. I'm not removing the tape from the other end yet. And it took literally 24 hours. I mean, I left it all night long because it didn't seem very solid at all yesterday. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is just take a few of these beads and scoot them down, just kind of even everything out. And I like it. I like the way it's looking so far. Okay, so if there's any that you need to pull tighter, any strands that need pulled a little tighter, just go ahead and pull them down. I'm leaving the tape on the other end, but I'm just gonna, you know, give these a little tug. It seems pretty solid, so this hypo cement glue must be gonna work okay. I was concerned about it. Like I said, I've never used it before. I've always used E6000 on everything, so I was a little nervous about it, but I think it's okay. All right, so now we've got to do this end, so I'm going to flip this around. I am going to leave the tape on, or rather I am going to, let's see, do I need to scoot? Yeah, I probably need to scoot the tape down just a tad. So I'm just going to scoot it down here just a little so that it's not like totally way out at the very end. I mean, like way out. Okay, and then I'm going to flush cut this end. So actually, that's pretty close to the other end. I'm going to scoot it down just a tad more. Now I've got it stuck on itself, so let me just pull it off and put a new piece on. I just don't want it to be too far down. And then I can spread the beads out a little bit more after I get this glued in. But yeah, I think with this glue, it's pretty important that you leave it for a while. So, okay, so I'm going to flush cut these ends right here. And then I'm just going to do the same thing on this end. I'm going to get these out of the way. Make sure those are nice and even. And I hope that my glue lid isn't, this stuff's messy. And I'm just going to take this piece and fill it pretty much, just fill it up like I did before. And I'm not sure, I mean, E6000 may work just as well on this. I just know that it sometimes dries with a little bit of a rubbery look, so I wanted to be sure that I didn't use a glue that was going to dry with kind of a rubbery look to it. Okay, and I'm just setting this aside because it leaks until I can get that little needle piece back in. And then I'm just going to insert this one, same as the other, and I'm going to let it dry for another 24 hours, and then we'll be back and finish it. So, okay, here we are back with this. Now, I'm just going to put my clasp on both ends. I decided not to use the chain because I think by the time I try to get it all up in here, it's just going to be too much, and it's just going to be annoying. So, but one thing I do have to decide is if I need to put a little bit of chain between here and here, and I think I do need to do that because if I don't, this isn't going to go through that ring, I don't think. I might hook it on and just try it. And I've lost one of my jump rings. Let me grab out my rose gold jump rings again because now I can't find the one I need. Where are they? Oh, there they are. Okay, yeah. So this video has been long. I mean, it's been strung out over several days. So I'm hoping that it's gonna be okay. Okay, because I've had to let this dry. Now this one, I did not let dry 24 hours, so I'm hoping this doesn't come apart on me while I'm doing this, but I really need to get this video done. What have I done? Have I glued the, oh no, okay, the tape's just, I just need to cut it. I might just leave the tape there for a second. Okay, so let me put these jump rings on and see if they're going to work out or if I need to put some chain here. So let's put this on. Sometimes these, oh gosh, this is a thick jump ring, man. Sometimes these toggle clasps, the bar will go right through, and then sometimes they don't. And I have a hard time judging that just from looking at it. So let me just see this and make sure that it'll go through the ring up there. Okay, close this back up. Those are thick jump rings. I don't even know where I got those jump rings, but they are thick. Dang. There we go. They definitely won't come open. Okay, now I know this end is glued in really good because that's the one that I let sit for a day. Okay, there we go. And we'll go ahead and get this one on here. And then we'll check it. Okay. All right, so is this going to go through? Yes, it is. That's good. So I don't have to use chain because I don't want this bracelet to be huge. So let me take this tape off. And we're going to see how it looks. And I'll tell you guys, I'm probably going to reinforce these ends with some more glue. I was just trying to get them in there to where it would stay. But now that it's in there and kind of staying, I think I'm going to squirt some more glue down in there. That hypo cement has that little needle tip, and I feel like that they need more glue. I don't feel secure. Yeah. But it is a really cute bracelet, so here it is. So if I put this on, sorry, I have a rubber band around my, then this is what it's going to look like. I really like it, I do, and you can shove some of these beads to the middle. I don't want to manipulate it too much just because I didn't let that other end dry as long, but you can shove your beads up to the middle. I mean, you can, you know, however you want to do it, but it's very pretty. It's very sparkly, and I really love this layered look. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this hypo cement, and I'm going to squirt a little bit more down in both of these things just to help my own feeling of security. I'm keeping this bracelet. It's not one that I would sell. I mean, people do this glue-in thing and sell them. I just don't feel real secure with it. So I don't know. I don't know that I would sell it. I might use a different kind of clasp or something if I was going to sell it, but maybe, I mean, by the time you get enough of this glue in there, it probably really is okay. Because it seems to dry pretty solidly. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and like I said, you know, it's your own discretion what kind of an end you want to use. I do like the look of these glue-in ones, so I'm going to try it, squirting some more of this glue in here, and we'll see how it goes. If it comes apart, then I'll probably never use these again on this kind of leather. But like I said, I'm just keeping this one. It's not going to be sold or anything, so I'm not too, you know, if it comes apart, it comes apart. But anyway, I do like it. I think it turned out really cute, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. So let me put this together. Well, I don't want to do that because I just put glue all over it again. But anyway, you can see what it looks like there. It is very pretty. So yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye.